Hi everyone, are your kids into the fidget spinner rage yet? If not, they soon will be. And I'm going to show you in this video how to make a handmade fidget spinner. Yay! First, this is a piece of cardstock and I cut it 1.5 or 1.25 by 3.5. That's 1.25 by 3.5. And then I took a round punch, and that's a 1-inch punch, and I'm going to punch 2 circles. 1, 2. And then I'm just going to use one of those circles as a template, and I'm going to round the top of that cardstock, that 1 1/4 by 3.5 cardstock, and then I am going to cut that out to make a pattern piece. And now that I have my pattern, that's just a used cardboard mailer, and I'm going to cut 2 of those out. And now I'm using those 1-inch circles as a pattern, and I'm going to trace around them and cut 4 of those out of the cardboard. And I have 2 pieces of scrap paper. One is polka dot and one is gold foil paper. And I'm going to use that pattern I made, and I am going to trace it, and I'm going to cut it out, one on the foil and one on the polka dot. I'm taking the cardboard circles and I'm going to mark the middle, and then I'm going to punch a hole or poke a hole in 2 of the cardboard circles with a pokey tool. Now I'm taking those 2 long cardboards and I'm going to glue them together with some hot glue. Be careful, it's hot. Don't burn your fingers. Now I'm taking the pattern paper and I'm going to glue that onto the 2 pieces of cardboard that are glued together, and I'm just going to use a white glue to do that. And now I have to punch a hole in the middle of those 2 pieces of cardboard that are glued together with the pattern paper on top. And that's just a little template I made so I can find the middle. And I mark it with my pencil. And then I'm going to take a hole punch. And this is actually called a crocodile. But any smaller hole punch will work. But this just happens to punch through thick items really well. So I poke that hole or punch that hole, but don't use a standard hole punch that's too big. Now I'm going to take one of those bigger paper clips and I'm going to bend it out, and then I'm going to use a wire nipper and I'm going to get the straightest piece that I can get. And I usually do this over a garbage can, and I am wearing glasses so I don't poke my eye out. So just cut a nice long piece, a nice long straight piece from that paper clip. Nice and straight. I need to make sure there's enough space. So I took a piece of that cardboard and I punched a hole, and then I took my scissors and I cut a bigger slit, and you'll see why in a minute. And now I'm going to take that piece of paper clip and I have a pliers, and I'm going to bend it over into an L shape. And I just bend it like that. And so it's a nice L shape. And now I'm taking that circle and I'm putting that L piece in the circle and then in my spacer, and I'll be removing that spacer so it's not going to stay there. And now I'm just going to take some hot glue and I'm going to glue the top of that round circle, and then I'm going to cover it with that other round circle that doesn't have the hole in it. And I'm going to make sure I press that on really tight. And now I need to do the same to the other side, and I'm using a spacer, but this time it's doubled. I want to make sure that it's doubled on this side. That seems to create just enough space, and that will also be removed. And now I'm taking that round disc and I'm putting it on the paper clip end, and now I need to trim that paper clip because it's going to be too long. So I'm going to use my wire nipper and I'm going to cut it short enough so it's not overhanging that circle. I don't want it going over the edge. And again, I am wearing my glasses so my eyes are safe so that piece doesn't fly up and get stuck in my eye. And then I will take my pliers and I'm going to bend that into another L shape, that side into an L shape. So then I take the pliers and I put it as close to that cardboard circle as I can, and then I bend it over, and then I use my finger to make it flush onto that circle. And then once I have that on there and it's bent the way I want it, I'm going to use my hot glue and I'm going to glue that disc on top. Now it's time to remove those spacers, so I'm just going to wiggle those out, and then that way my spinner will have enough space to spin. And now I'm going to cover up those cardboard discs with the blue 1-inch circles that I made. I'm going to do that on both sides, and again I'm just using white glue. I want to add some weight, so I'm going to hot glue 2 pennies on each end on one side. And that is how you make a handmade spinner. And then this is just something fun to do with the kids. It's not going to be the same as the kind you buy in the store, but then you don't have to worry about your kids wrecking them or losing them. You can always make more. Have fun making your homemade fidget spinner. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe, and thanks for watching. Bye.